Hello and welcome. We'd like to thank you for giving us the opportunity to talk with you today about supported decision making and how it might be a better alternative for some people instead of guardianship.
We work for the Advocates as Leaders Speakers Network. My name is Casey Lynham, and this is my colleague, Eric Stoker. Our mission is to educate self-advocates like us, family members, siblings, professionals, and community members about issues that affect our lives.
Everybody who loves us wants us to be happy, healthy, and safe. But sometimes our families and friends might think that becoming our guardians and making decisions for us will keep us protected. But there are other people who believe that helping us become better self-advocates, have more control over our own decisions, and empower us to become more independent are the skills that will help us make good decisions today, tomorrow, and in the future. In years past, guardianship was the only pathway for many people. But today, we have other alternatives. And that's just a fancy way of saying other options or ways we can support people. Because of our training in self-advocacy and self-determination, some of us might find that supported decision-making makes more sense in our lives. Today, we're going to be talking about these two different areas of support.
Before we start, we would like to introduce our guide called My Voice Counts. The speakers of the network have researched and wrote this guide to help self-determined people think about the ways in which their voices can be heard when making both simple and hard decisions. This guide looks at 5 different areas of supported decision-making. Understanding supported decision-making as another choice. How to organize your ideas about what you would like to do and what decisions you might need help with. How to choose the right people to be a part of your support team. How to create your own supported decision-making agreement. And where to check out some legal forms and resources that you and your support team might be helpful. Throughout the presentation, we will be pointing out different sections of this guide that might help you and your supporters understand more about supported decision-making. Go to www.utahddcouncil.org to check out the guide or download your own copy to show your family and friends.
Supported decision-making is all about the things that many of us have been learning for years. Probably most of us in this room have had some type of training in self-advocacy or self-determination. Many of us have been given the opportunity to make our own choices. And if we made the wrong choice, we paid the consequence. Many of us have also had the freedom to choose the people we hang out with, or maybe even the people who come in our home to help us. We're pretty sure that most of you have also been involved in some type of a written plan. You know, the place where you write down your goals and ideas for the future. You might have heard these names before, like IEP, Individualized Education Plan, or PCP, Person-Centered Plan. Written plans are important, and we'll be talking more about these as we continue our presentation.
Supported decision-making started in Texas as a project or test to see if self-advocates like us, with help from our supporters, could learn how to make good, educated decisions. A group of self-advocates were given the opportunity to choose their own team of supporters that helped them become better educated about their choices and options when making both simple and hard decisions. They were assisted with writing an agreement that identified their needs and how each supporter was going to assist them in specific areas of their lives. The project demonstrated that by supporting a person's abilities and strengths, self-advocates could learn the skill of decision-making. Also, after this study was completed, more people in the disability community are starting to believe that supporting us to make our own decisions helps us become more self-determined, more involved in our communities, and are better able to recognize and resist abuse. In 2015, Texas was the first state to mandate that their probate courts consider the alternatives to guardianship before guardianship was created.
Meet Miss Jenny Hatch, the first court case in Texas that introduced the concept of supported decision-making instead of guardianship. Jenny is a 29-year-old woman who won her rights back in the Texas courts to make decisions about where to live and work instead of having all of her decisions made by her guardian. Jenny was placed in a group home. Her cell phone and other electronic equipment were taken away, and she was restricted in seeing all of her friends. The organization called Quality Trust for Individuals with Disabilities in Texas represented Jenny and demonstrate to the courts that Jenny could make good decisions when given appropriate supports. Today, Jenny lives and works where she wants and has the friends that she has chosen. You can learn more about Jenny's journey by visiting YouTube on the internet by searching Justice for Jenny.
Jenny Hatch, the Arc of San Angelo, and the Texas Department of Aging and Disability Services all demonstrate that with support, people can learn the skills of decision-making. This group of people designed the ideas that drive the supported decision-making concept as an alternative to guardianship today. They believe that all people are capable of making decisions. That decision-making should be considered a skill like learning how to tie our shoes or how to fill out a job application. And with any skill, we need time to practice, fail, and start again. They also figured out other ways to protect a person's money, health, and personal belongings without taking away any rights.
Remember, the supported decision-making idea is all about you working with your chosen supporters to make both simple and hard decisions. But you are the one who has to show people that you are capable of making good decisions. You have to be willing to try new ideas and explore different possibilities. You have to be willing to look at your own strengths and challenges to decide on the supports that you will need in order to be successful. You have to be willing to work with a team of supporters to achieve your goals. You have to be willing to accept the responsibilities and consequences of the decisions you make. And you have to be willing to take the time and effort to write your ideas down so it'll help you and your supporters achieve the things you want in your life.
Guardianship is a different way to support a person with disabilities. Many of us may have heard the word guardianship before. We may not totally understand what it's all about. Our guardian is a person that might be someone in your family like your mom or dad or brothers or sisters who wants to help you make decisions about your life. Sounds great, doesn't it? For some of us, it is great. But for some of us, it doesn't work because we are capable of making many of our own decisions with support.
Here are the things we thought you should know about guardianship. These ideas are listed on page 5 of your guide. A guardian is a person who can make decisions for you. Many guardians will discuss with you the things you would like and what you think would be the best way to handle a certain decision. But they are not required by law to get your opinion. They are appointed by a judge, and guardians can make decisions with or without your permission in some areas of your life, which is called partial, or sometimes it's called limited guardianship. Or the judge might give the guardian the right to make decisions in all areas of your life, which is called full guardianship. No one can take guardianship over you without you knowing about it. You have to go to court. You might speak with a judge, or maybe even to an attorney. Be sure to let them know what you are thinking. In Utah, if a judge grants full guardianship, many of your rights like voting, driving a car, or maybe even getting married can be taken away.
The reasons why people start to talk about guardianship is because when a person with or without a disability turns 18 in the state of Utah, you are a legal adult and now have the same rights and consequences like everyone else. You have the right to make your own decisions, good or bad. Many times, doctors or people at your schools start to talk to your families about guardianship. In school, you can now decide for yourself your educational goals with or without your parents' input or permission, or make your own medical decisions about keeping yourself healthy or deciding on other medical treatments that you might need. For most of us, we don't necessarily need a guardian, but a circle of supporters, like a supported decision-making team, that can help us make decisions about the things that affect our lives.
So, how would you feel if someone wanted to become your guardian, or if someone wanted to limit your rights? What questions might you ask? Think about it. If you wish, stop the video now and answer the questions on page 5. Don't forget to share your answers with your supporters. Remember, there are no wrong or right answers. It's all about what you think.
Glad you're back. So let's talk about how supported decision-making works. Here are some of the steps you might want to follow when setting up your own decision-making supportive team or agreement. First, talk with your friends and family or people you trust about your ability to make good decisions with their help. Second, you will want to start talking about the things you will need help or support with. For example, maybe you would like to learn how to budget your money or understand more about your health issues. Next, start looking for people that can support you with your goals. Who would you choose? Last, it will be important to write your ideas down. This can be done by including these ideas on your current plans that you might have, like your IEP, individual educational plan, or your PCP, person-centered plan, or start from scratch and create a new supported decision-making agreement. By writing your ideas down, you and your supporters know the direction you are moving and the things you would like to achieve in your life.
Step 1. Since supported decision making is all about choosing the different options in your life, you should think about the way we all make decisions. Every person with or without disabilities makes decisions about their lives every day. Some are easy decisions like, what should I have for dinner tonight or tomorrow? Should I wear my new pair of pants or my shorts? But sometimes these decisions are not so easy. Sometimes we have to make tough decisions, like, where do I want to live? In my own apartment or with my friends or family? Or maybe even in a place where I can get more assistance, like a group home, or maybe even a place that can help me with my medical needs. What should I do with my money? And how much money do I really have? Should I use my money to purchase a car or a home, or go to school maybe? Should I save my money? Should I get a credit card or pay off my current credit cards? These are just a few hard questions that people are faced with every day.
By using the supported decision-making idea, you and your supporters are going to have to make many decisions. It will be important for you to think about how you make decisions. This slide shows how many people come to a decision. They might use these things. Preferences. These are the things we like and don't like. Values. These are the things that are important to us, like having friends or being part of our families. And our needs. What are the things we need in order to be safe, healthy, and happy? Any of these may have an impact on the decisions you make.
Step 2. As we just mentioned, the whole idea behind the supported decision making is that we have an opportunity to choose the areas of our lives that you need help in. Most supporters you choose will not have the ability to read your mind. If you want to make your own decisions, you will have to decide on the things you will need and want assistance in and be able to communicate those ideas to your team of supporters. We like to call them a life list. You'll have to think about the areas of life that you might need support in when making decisions. In our guide, on page 11, 12, and 13, we have listed out some life areas that you might want to check out. But remember, we are all different. So don't be afraid to talk about other areas in your life that are important.
Step 3. Sometimes it's really hard to find good people to support us, but it is the key to making the supported decision-making model work the best. Here are some of the things you will want to think about when choosing a member of your support team. They are listed on page 14 of your guide. Someone who is honest, someone you can trust, someone willing to help you, someone who has similar interests, someone who is creative, and willing to explore all possibilities. Choose wisely. This is important. Which 3 of these that I just mentioned do you think are the most important to you in your life? Stop the video now and write your answers on page 14.
Thanks for coming back. Now we go to the last step, which is step 4. So now you will need to start thinking about how you can write all these of your great ideas down. We all do lots of planning in our lives. We might plan for a fun vacation, or if we want to change our jobs. We might plan for our next weekend, or what we might be doing 2 years from now. Some of us might have plans like an individualized education plan, IEP, or maybe a work plan from vocational rehabilitation. You might also be a person that might even have some type of plan for taking care of your health. We all have life plans. The support decision-making agreement is totally driven by you. You choose the things you want assistance with and the people you think can help accomplish your goals.
All agreements involve two people who are willing to provide something to each other. Usually agreements are legally binding, but if you decide to write your own supported decision-making agreement, you might find that this is a little different. In this agreement, you are giving your supporters the authorization to assist you in the areas of life that you will need help with in order to make good decisions. In this plan, you can also give in written permission to release or share information with your supporters so they can assist you with making important decisions.
We would like you to know Utah does not yet recognize in the support decision-making agreement like Texas, and currently does not have an agreement form designed for use. Many disability organizations are currently working with families, caregivers, educators, medical professionals, and the courts to heighten awareness about the possibilities behind support decision-making instead of guardianship. That's the bad news. But here's the good news. Many other states have agreements that can be used or changed to meet your needs, or you can make your own. If you look in our guide on page 18, you will find a list of agreements that other states have created that you might want to check out.
Planning is an important part of supported decision-making. We know that people who plan are more likely to accomplish the things that matter the most to them. Most of us hate to plan, but with supported decision-making, in order to keep everyone on the same page, your supporters will need to know what your goals are and how they can help you achieve those goals. Your agreement will also help you investigate all of your options and resources and set time limits for the things you need to happen. Lastly, the agreement is driven by you, it is written by you, managed by you, and changed by you.
Generally, people don't think about all the legal documents that help people without disabilities can also be used to help folks with disabilities. Remember how we said that every person with or without disabilities makes decisions about their lives every day? And how it was not uncommon for us to rely on our friends, family, and professionals to help us make good decisions? If you look at this slide, we have pointed out some of the legal protections that might help you. We strongly encourage you to seek assistance from your support decision-making team or other community members. These are difficult decisions for all people, and you may also want to seek professional assistance like help from an attorney, a tax accountant, a money manager, or maybe even a medical professional when looking for guidance and advice.
For the last several minutes, we have been talking about the concepts behind supported decision-making, but we thought that you might like to see it in action. Meet Sarah. Sarah just turned 18 years old and lives at home with her mom. Like many of us, Sarah has to make decisions about what she would like in her life and how she will accomplish these goals. Sarah is an awesome person, and her friends say that she is fun, adventurous, and will take home every stray animal she can find. She loves to swim at her local community pool, and her family and friends are important people in her life. Sarah attends school and is just starting to learn a variety of work skills that might help her meet her goal of someday working with animals.
Meet Sarah's supporters. She has chosen Jack, her boyfriend, Molly, her friend from school, her vocational rehabilitation counselor, Mr. Jones, her mom, Rose, her friend Sue from camp, and her swimming buddy, Jane, who is a nurse.
Sarah has many goals in her life, but by talking with all of her supporters, she has decided that she needs assistance with making decisions in education, her physical health, and assistance with her money.
Sarah designed her own agreement. She used different parts from other supported decision agreements already developed from other states. If you'd like to see a copy of Sarah's agreement, go to www.utahddcouncil.org and take a look at our guide. Let me tell you about some of the important things about our plan. Sarah decided that she would need help with making decisions at school. She talked with her mom, Mr. Jones, her vocational rehabilitation counselor, and Sue, her friend from camp, about assisting her in making decisions about the type of classes to take, how she can explore ideas about what she can do in the future, and how she learned more about working with animals. Her second life area has to do with physical health. Sarah is interested in losing some weight, and she decided she needed help with exploring weight loss programs and understanding her different options, help her get more education about weight loss, and wanted someone to go with her to visit her doctor for recommendations. Sarah asked Jane to support her because she is her friend from the pool and is a nurse. Her last life area was learning more about her money and government benefits. She was interested in learning about benefit specialists, ABLE accounts, and how her and her mom could set up a joint account. I'd like to point out one more thing about Sarah's agreement. Sarah and her team used many different forms that are available to everyone that gave Sarah the power to release information and give her supporters the authorization to support her.
Here is the list of some of the resources that you and your supporters can use when developing an agreement. You can find them on page 18 in your guide. This is just a short list, so just don't stop here. If you search the internet, you will find a variety of different agreements being used throughout the United States.
So, here's your first real decision. Is supported decision making great for you? You might want to take the quick quiz on page 26 in our Voice Counts guide to help you with your decision.
If you are looking for more information, you might want to check out some of the websites listed on page 27. We hope that you will take some time with your supporters to check out the cool things that are happening around the United States involving the ideas behind supported decision making.
We hope you enjoyed our presentation today about supported decision making. And remember that by using some of the ideas that Casey and I have talked about today may help you or someone you know to have the ability to be more self-determined, have control over their own decisions, and empower them to be more independent. Thanks for watching, and have a fantastic day.